What's up, everybody? It's Philip Randolph, and it's 10 Minutes to Vent. And today we're going to be talking about a very controversial subject. A very controversial subject, very touchy subject, but everybody can give their honest opinion on. And today we're going to be talking about, do you believe in God or do you believe in science? Okay? Or both. But this is what we're talking about today. Do you believe in God or do you believe in science? Now, this is a very controversial subject because you have different opinions whenever it comes to religion, when it comes to God, when it comes to belief. People will die, people are dying, people have died because of what they believe in, and people will continue to die of what they believe in and what they do not believe in. So this is what we're talking about today. My personal opinion, I believe in God. I believe that God is real. I've had some encounters with different situations that have proved to me that God is real. Now, of course, if you know me, if we grew up together, you know that my parents are heavily in the church. My dad's a pastor. My mom's an educator, but my mom, she's also a minister as well. I come from a long line of ministers and educators and musicians, okay? So it's in my blood. I was brought up in the church. So I'm connected very, very, very closely, very heavily to the church, all right? Now, just because I grew up in the church, just because I'm a pastor's son, a PK, and I have that tattooed on me, that was one of my very first tattoos, doesn't mean that I believe in God, because there's a lot of preacher kids out here, preacher children that don't believe in God, and they shied away from the church. So I cannot speak for every preacher kid. I cannot do that. That'd be biased. But as for myself, I've encountered different situations that let me know that the power of God and that God is real. All right. Now, I believe in God, but I also believe in science as well. There are scientific proof that lets me know that God is real as well. And there's no scientific explanation how certain things happen as well. Okay. Now, I believe that man created science to debate God. That's my personal opinion, because there are some things in this world without any explanation that happens and why it happens. All right. And I believe that's why science was created. Now, if you look on my shirt, I have a palm leaf on my shirt, right? And today is Palm Sunday. And if you don't know what Palm Sunday, you can go ahead and research it. And I'll leave a little clip, a definition of what Palm Sunday is, probably right here or right here. And we're celebrating Palm Sunday. There's scientific proof that Palm Sunday actually happened back in the days. And this is way before we was born. And like I say, this is where science and religion and spirituality kind of collides, because, like I say, there's different beliefs. People believe in different facts when it comes to religion. And at the end of the day, it's what makes you feel good as a person, what makes you feel good as an individual. I want to start off by telling you a story. So I had to be about 4, maybe 5 years old. We was in Rochester, New York, and my mom, she had just finished getting her hair done. She went to, I don't know if she got referred to this cosmetologist, and it was a man who was doing her hair, and I didn't really realize. I'm like, why you got a man doing your hair? But at 5 years old, you just go along and you don't really ask any questions. But anyway, after my mom finished getting her hair done, right, we went to meet my dad. My dad, he was doing something with the pastors. So we went back to the hotel. So it was just me and my dad. My sister was with my mom. And after my mom dropped me off with my dad, we were just walking around. But I went to the bathroom. I had to go to the bathroom. And when I went to the bathroom, I used the bathroom, and I was waiting for my dad to get out the bathroom, so I was holding the door open. But I put my finger, right, my index finger in the crack of the door, of the automatic door, right? And I couldn't hold it, and it cracked my index finger, right? I knew it was broke. I couldn't move it or anything. It was swollen and everything. My dad, he put a handkerchief around my finger. He put some anointing oil. He prayed for my hand. He prayed for my finger. Guys, when I tell you, by the end of the day, I could move my finger. My finger was not broke. Like, my finger was red and blue. It had to be broken, guys, because I couldn't move it. But we was in a situation where I really couldn't go to the hospital at the time. I really couldn't. The power of God worked with my finger. Now, some of y'all can say, well, bro, it wasn't a broke. It was just a bad sprain. No, guys, my finger was completely broke. All right. So that's one instant where I seen the power of God. All right. Another situation happened to me in 2009. I'll never forget this. I was traveling home from court, going back to ECU, East Carolina University. And I literally just, I won my case. I was found not guilty. Well, yeah, I was found not guilty, but I still had to do probation. So I was riding back to East Carolina, and Little Rue came on, the Nasty song. And I knew I was in the wrong because it started sprinkling. And it was drizzling, so if you're a driver, when it's drizzling, that's when the road is the most slippery, all right? So I'm over here dancing and everything. Here's a nasty song, just dancing and driving, like playing around at the steering wheel while it's drizzling, right? My Ford Escape flipped 4 times in the air, guys. All right, this is the worst accident I've ever gotten in. Before, it was just a fender bender, just a little bump. That's it, a bump to a bumper. That was it. It flipped 4 times in the air, guys. And when I tell you that, my Ford Escape landed right side up, just like perfectly, like I was driving. But it flipped 5 times in the air, and I rolled down the hill. My windshield was cracked in. My sunroof was cracked in. The back window was cracked in. Everything was total, guys. I left that accident, guys, without being injured. I had a little slight carpet burn on my forearm. That was it. That's the power of God, guys. Those were situations about the power of God that kept me through these tragedies. This was a tragic situation for me. One at 19, the other at 5. Okay, guys, I remember this like it was yesterday. This is the power of God. Now, it's no scientific proof. I can't give science any type of credit when it comes to these situations. All right, these are just my situations, and we'll talk about this a little bit later. We'll probably make it a part 2, but leave me a comment below. You let me know when you experience the power of God, or why you believe in God, or why you believe in science. Give me your comment right now. Go ahead and write it down below. Like I said, there's no right or wrong answers. Again, it's Philip Owens. It's 10 Minutes to Vent. Until the next time, stay safe, stay blessed, and I'm out.